Hello everybody, welcome back to The Bad Bookers. My name is Jack, and once again I'm at work like I was yesterday, not in the car this time obviously, but if the connection is a little bit poor, it's because I'm using my data because there's no Wi-Fi here, so I do apologise on that behalf. But we are reviewing SmackDown Live and 205 Live tonight. SmackDown was alright, it wasn't great, it was a show, but 205 Live, the main event in 205 Live was absolutely incredible. Again, and it was a false finish, and it was still incredible, and just incredible, absolutely incredible. Like I said, just more. I say it every week. If you're not watching 205 Live, you're missing out completely. I'm just sending out a tweet now, and then we shall be going to review both of them. Right, we'll start off with SmackDown Live, like we do every week. We kicked off the show with Carmella coming out, and she cut a promo on Asuka. Obviously she's facing Asuka for the title at Money in the Bank. They do video packages of Asuka, like for her undefeated streak and all that, and then a video package of her losing at WrestleMania, then losing her match on SmackDown when she was tagged with Becky Lynch, the first match she had on SmackDown. And they also showed a little bit of a clip of last week with Mandy Rose, how Mandy Rose actually did some wrestling moves on her, which is mad. I still can't get over that. But yeah, you know, usual crap from Carmella. Asuka came out, but before she could do anything, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville came out. And Mandy said, "I know this week that I can beat you." But Sonya piped in and said, "Mandy, come on now, you've had your chance. You've left Asuka in a state, now it's my turn." Carmella was kind of stirring the pot, if you will. Paige came out and said, "Asuka, you're going to have a match against one of these two, Sonya or Mandy. Which one do you want to pick?" And Asuka decided to pick both of them. So we had a handicap match between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus Asuka. It was an alright match. They made it all about Carmella though. Carmella was on commentary. They made it all about Carmella. The commentators weren't really talking about the match. They were talking about Carmella and all that crap. And that screams to me that Carmella's losing the belt. I don't know why. It just screams to me that she's losing the belt. But Asuka won because she's not going to lose. She made Sonya Deville tap out. Sonya Deville looks quite good in this match. Like she always does. I rate Sonya Deville, to be fair. She's up there. I reckon she could do a job as a main event woman in the near future. But we'll have to wait and see. You can even have Mandy as a manager if you want to. What do we have next? We had a segment between The Miz and The New Day. New Day asked The Miz to pick a name out the hat, and whoever he picked out the hat was going to go to Money in the Bank. They wanted him to be blindfolded. They changed the hat until to have pancake mix in, and The Miz stuck his hand in and then started flicking it at everyone and wiped it on that white bloke that the New Day have. I can't remember his name. It was a bit of a weird segment. Moving on fairly quickly, we had a match between Carl Anderson and Luke Harper. The club got a jobber's entrance, and then we joined the Bludgeon Brothers entrance halfway through. So it just screams that WWE don't care about the tag team division at the moment. Carl Anderson picked up a surprise victory, if you would call it that. He rolled up Luke Harper and then they ran away, like the club always do. But yeah, I'm just getting fed up with these jobber entrances, and not true. Like the Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows you could have them up there as one of the best tag teams. The same with the Revival as one of the best tag teams in the world right now, and just not getting it. We had the mixed match. Is that right? against with Jimmy Uso and Naomi versus Lana and Aiden English. Jimmy Uso and Naomi won, and they kept on working. Jimmy Uso kept on working Aiden English's throat. So I don't know if next week he's not going to be able to talk, so he can't sing for Rusev. Something like that. It's going to be something like that. But yeah, they won, Uso and Naomi. So it was alright. There were some decent moments in the match. It was alright. We then had a contract signing between AJ Styles and Nakamura. Now, this contract signing wasn't in the ring. It was backstage, which, if I'm honest, I was absolutely fine with. Contract signings in the ring are a bit boring, in my opinion. They always... You can write contract signing in the ring, like now. They both get in the ring. They both chat shit. They... one of them steps up and moves the table out of the way or chucks the table, and they start brawling, and then someone gets put through the table. Simple as that. And then they sign the contract and throw it on the who got put through a table. So it was nice to have a little bit of a difference and have it backstage. And AJ signed his part of the contract. He gave the contract to Shinsuke, and Shinsuke said, "Oh, there's no, because there are 2 pens, there's no ink in his pen." So he put it down and said, "Can I borrow your pen, AJ?" AJ slammed the pen on the table and went, "Oh, this pen," Shinsuke went, "Oh, this pen's broken," and then just chucked it across the room. AJ started mouthing off then. He then slapped Nakamura. Big slap on the nose. It wasn't even on the cheek, it looked like it was on the nose. And you had Dean Malenko and someone else in there, I think. They dragged him away. And Shinsuke signed his part of the contract, so it's official now. Even though it's already official, it's definitely official now. And yeah, nothing more to say. It was a good segment. It was good to have a contract signing not in the ring. So yeah, no qualms from me. Next up we had a decent match between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. And surprisingly, Becky Lynch made Charlotte tap. Now, like I said, it was a surprise. I kind of wanted Becky to win, obviously. But to make Charlotte tap, that's quite big. Especially on a SmackDown, just to make her tap, that's quite big. So, you never know. They shook hands afterwards, they hugged and everything, and then Charlotte walked off so Becky could have the spotlight. Yeah, it was an alright match. Again, SmackDown Live, it was alright. Alright seems to be the motion at the moment. Big Cass had a segment with Renee Young, and they talked about Daniel Bryan, the same old shit. Quickly moving on. Sin Cara had a bit of TV time again. Did an interview talking about Cien Almas and saying how Cien Almas idolised him since he was 14 or something. And Selena Vega came out and said, like, yeah, you've nothing. And then said that Cien Almas has asked Paige for a match next week against Sin Cara. Obviously, that's the feud that everyone wanted Cien Almas to go straight into, was Sin Cara fight. Give Sin Cara a bit of game time, TV time, game time, yeah, whatever. Okay, Sin Cara got attacked from behind from Almas, and then yeah, you're not going to have Almas lose to Sin Cara. Simple as that. If you do, that's pretty mental. But next up, we have the main event. It was the New Day versus Miz, Rusev, and Samoa Joe. In my notes, all I wrote was New Day. New Day won. Basically, what happened was the finish of the match was, it was Big E and Miz in the ring. Big E was about to tag in Kofi, I think, but Xavier Woods got dragged off the ropes dragged off the open cross. Samoa Joe got put into the Kikina clutch. Kofi went to save him for some reason without tagging himself in. And jumped off the apron, but was met by a matchy kick from Rusev. And they were laid out on the ropes. Miz did something with Big E, I can't remember what. Threw him into the steel post, I think it was, through the ropes. And then told Samoa Joe and Rusev to hold him up. The Miz got the pancakes, and I assume he's gonna like stuff his face with pancakes. Xavier Woods, I think it was, popped to the apron. Miz knocked him down, and then Miz chucked the pancakes, but it hit Samoa Joe and Rusev. Rusev hit him with a matcha kick, and they both walked off. Rusev hit him with a matcha kick, and Samoa Joe hit him with the senton, and they both walked off. And then Big E did his big ending, I think. I can't remember. It would be good if I wrote it down, but I can't remember. And Big E pins The Miz once again. So 3 weeks in a row, Big E, obviously one of them was a singles match, I think, so someone's going to get pinned there. But Big E has been involved in the finish 3 weeks in a row against The Miz. So he's got to be in Money in the Bank, has to, because you're not going to have finishes and then pick Woods or Kofi. So yeah, that was SmackDown. Like I said, it was alright. It kind of felt like a go-home show. Obviously, we still got another SmackDown before Money in the Bank. But yeah, but the real main event of the evening, 205 Live. The main event of this, again, was incredible. And like I said, it was a DQ finish. First of all, we had Lindsay Dorado versus Brian Kendrick. Lindsay and Drew Gulak attacked. I think he attacked all of the Lucha House Party at the end because he was on commentary again. And next week we're going to have Lucha House Party versus Jack Gallagher, Brian Kendrick and Drew Gulak. So that should be a good little match. We then had TJP versus just a jobber who's dressed up as a cowboy. Weird. And what was it? He was talking on the mic all match. Talking shit about Drake Mavstar Spud, and just said he's gonna go to another brand or something, I guess. And it was weird how he was just talking. It's just weird how he was talking he was doing moves while talking. Just really random. He won the match, obviously, against the jobber, made him tap. And, yeah, moving on from that. Leo Rush, formerly of NXT, he is going to go to 205 Live. We had a little segment from him. I've not seen him wrestle, I don't think. But apparently he's a bit infamous with his Twitter. Something with Emma. When Emma got released, I remember that. So he's a bit outspoken, I think the word is. But I assume he'll be going straight into a mid-card feud where I think he's a heel by the looks of it. So a mid-card feud with Tozawa or something like that. So that should be good. But the main event, Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali. When these two get together, they create magic. I don't know how Buddy Murphy has still got a neck, basically. He got was a reversed Hurricane Rana, just landed right on the back of his neck, like, don't know how he didn't die. He got DDT'd on the apron, I think it was. How he's still got a neck, I don't know. And then Mustafa Ali pulled off the sickest Hurricane Rana DDT, is that what it was called? From the top rope to the outside of the ring. It was just so nice. It's so nice. Like I say every week, if you're not watching 205 Live, you're missing out. You're missing out. And it was a DQ finish. Now you're thinking, who was the one that hit the other one with a chair? Neither. He got interfered by the one and only Hideo Itami. Now these two create magic together. Add Cedric into that. Those three are just carrying 205 Live with like match of the year contenders every week. Especially last week, that was definitely match of the year contender from Buddy Murphy and Cedric. Add Hideo Itami into that. 205 Live's the brand at the moment, in my opinion. It's the brand. You got those four guys in Itami, who's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Seen him as Kenta in Japan. He's just incredible. unfortunately, I said in one of my live streams a few weeks ago, I think it was when he faced Tozawa in that really good match there, that he hasn't been the same since the injuries, obviously, but he can still do it in the ring. He can still pull off a great match, as we saw with Tozawa. Buddy Murphy's on the form of his life. Mustafa Ali's on the form of his life. Cedric Alexander is on the form of his life. Every man looks strong. And now it's just, 205 Live, great. It's just great. I just can't get over how good it. Imagine, like, what? Well, when Enzo was champion, it was a bit trash. There was numbers because people were watching because Enzo was champion. But you could say, even when like Neville and Austin Aries were having their feud, this is better than that. And that's mad with Neville and Austin Aries feuding. But this is so much. Oh, it's just fantastic. I'm going to go before I just ramble on about 205 Live and how great it is, because I've done that enough. If you like that, please subscribe if you're new. Leave a question down below. If you have any questions for our podcast from this week's wrestling, it's at BadBookersWP on Twitter. And yeah, any questions from SmackDown, from 205 Live, from Raw, from NXT tomorrow, I'll be doing a review from that. From my house, a review from my house, which you haven't seen for a while. I know I did one on last Monday, I think. And that was just because I fell asleep during Raw. So I had no other choice really to do it from when I got home. But yeah, SmackDown was alright. 205 Live was great again. I shall love you and leave you, and I shall see you again tomorrow from the comforts of my own home for 205 Live. Thank you, and goodbye.